Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show. I am very happy to have our next guest here with Republic Services. Reese DeMille joins us, as well as Brenda Upright, who's our community relations. Reese is the you're the manager of the whole thing, basically.
Municipal services.
Municipal services manager.
Yep.
All right. Welcome. It's great to have you guys here.
Thank you.
You know, we had some questions even here. People called in to the studio saying, you know what, maybe you need to come talk to me because no one's got my garbage. and we knew that there were some challenges this last winter with that because of weather. And I mean, heck, I had that in Sandy with people not coming and collecting my trash. In fact, I went a good week a couple of times because we had a lot of snow this year. That is not an uncommon story when you come up here to where we have a whole lot more snow. Right. Is that what occurred? Talk to us about what kind of happened.
Well, just yesterday I was asked, if I could describe in a couple of words what the winter was like with regards to picking up trash, and I, said it was a perfect storm. Yeah. It really was, as far as we go. Driving these big trash trucks, it's just very difficult to get up certain roads. Even when they appear to be cleared or plowed, taking a big truck up these roads and down these roads is very dangerous, and safety being our #1 concern, it just causes a problem. And then the routes, when a truck can't go in one area in the morning, then that route has to be pushed back to hours or a day or a couple of days before we can get back up into that area again.
I like to think of it a little bit, like airline service. If we get the runway clear, the planes get off the ground. If we can make sure we get them all uncovered with snow too, we make sure that we get them sprayed off so they're safe to fly. Then we'll fly. Exactly. And if those things aren't going to happen, we're not going to put people in the air and take the risk of something bad happening.
Sure.
And the thing that I think a lot of people maybe recognize is that when we talk about snow plowing a road, we've got the ruts to prove it. We don't always touch the ground with those plows. We get close, we skim it, leave a little bit for the tires to move the rest. And that's fine when you're talking about a little, under a half-ton automobile. But these trucks, how much do these things weigh?
Well, full, they're 56,000 pounds.
Good grief.
So, I mean, they're 32,000, 33,000 pounds, they're tare weight. So you add, 10 tons on top of that for payload, and you're up to a 55,000 pound range.
And they can carry 10 tons of garbage?
Up to 10 tons, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's a lot of weight.
It's a lot of weight.
So that comes through my house, what happens?
Well,
I want to know.
Well, just recently I had a discussion, and a lady says, well, the mailman gets to my house every day, no problems. And I said, with all due respect, if that small mail truck slides, it's going to hit your mailbox and knock it over. If we slide down your street, we're coming into your kitchen. Yeah. And there's, not much we can do about it. And so we really try to be wise in where we go and when we go.
Well, that makes good sense because, I mean, as you think about some of these roads we've got, they're pretty curvy. Sometimes behind you is a house.
Sure.
In fact, a lot of the time, several houses. So yeah, I would start to worry about that, especially if I was the driver. I don't want to be in that. I don't want to come through somebody's home.
Hey, well, some of the reasons what makes Park City great and this area great are the hills and the mountains and the elevation and all that. That's why we're here, right?
Right.
But that does make it a difference. It's certainly different than other areas.
So you guys had some days where you couldn't collect trash. That happened.
Absolutely. We had several days where there was just too much snow. One day we couldn't get out of our yard. It was just, we had so much snow, we couldn't even leave the yard.
Wow.
And so.
That's amazing.
Yep.
It makes, I mean, I get it, and I'm sure most people do. But then they're like, well, how come you can't just come the next day and get it? It's plowed now, it's melted now even. But there's some challenges there too, because with the safety of these trucks, what you guys have basically enough to operate a day where there's some that are being rotated? Is that how that works?
Well, yeah, and we're routed, so we have a finite number of trucks. And so if they're in the east side one day and on the next day they're supposed to be in the west side, now the east side trucks that next day are plowed. We can't just take all of our trucks and go back out to the east and ignore the west. So, once there's a storm and we're pushed off hours or a day, then that messes up the routing for the rest of the week. And so, plus we have, like I said, we have a finite number of trucks. Some of the trucks are getting their their maintenance done, their preventative maintenance done that we do every single day.
Okay.
And so we do have spare trucks, but when they're on the road, the trucks that they have replaced are in the shop having their preventative maintenance done.
Because these trucks are being used every day.
Every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that maintenance schedule and things like that, because that's, you don't really think about that, I suppose. But this is, again, maybe we can make the comparison to an airline. This is kind of the same idea. We've got big, heavy trucks, all kinds of DOT requirements, things like that. So, Brenda there, talk about that for a minute. These things are getting a lot of safety work done.
Absolutely, and safety is our #1 priority with Republic Services. And our drivers are regular people like us. They want to go home at the end of the day to their families. So naturally, safety being the #1 priority, they have to make a judgment call when they're out on the roads. If it's not safe to go up a snowy hill and they have any risk factors that could potentially incur a serious accident, they're not going to take it. So we encourage them to be cautious and put safety as the #1 value.
When we talk about something like this, where a situation arises where you do have to miss an area, I mean, are you guys like basically on the radio, hey, when you're done with this one on the way to the yard or on the way to the dump, can you try to hit another street that we missed? Or how does that work?
Sure. So drivers are in constant communication with the office.
Mm-hmm.
And the county has a wonderful communications manager who has been great in helping us communicate out what areas we're not going to be able to service that day. And so, yeah, we'll try to go get it. If we can't, again, just because it's plowed, we may be in a completely other area now.
Right.
And so we try to go back and get to that area, but if we can't, we try to get it the next day. And then, that just compounds the problem also.
Right, now where everybody's late.
Everybody's late.
Yeah.
And when people are late, they go, oh, they're not coming today, so I'm not going to put my can out, or I did. And so then it's confusing to the residents as well.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. What do they do? Okay, so let's just say that I put my can out, I missed because of snow. Do I leave my can out for that next day?
Well, what
do I do?
Yeah, good question. The hard part about that is if your can's out, then the snowplow, if it snows that night, the snowplow is going to come and bury your can or knock it over or whatever. So unfortunately, there is some labor to that for the resident. They're going to have to take their can, pull it back over the snowbank or back onto their driveway or back out of the way, then the next morning put it back out, and we'll do our very best to try to get there as well.
All right, so it's going to take some work on our side of it for sure. And again, I hate to keep drawing analogies for what I know, but I think about this, and I had these hard conversations with people when it came to flying, when I was working as a director at Ops at Continental Airlines. I'd have to say, well, look, I'm sorry that your flight didn't make it out today, and yeah, I don't have any room for you tomorrow either. And in fact, I may not be able to take you till next week. And that's sometimes just the case. You may have to go a week.
Yeah, I looked up another city similar to this area with this terrain and how they handle their winter, missed pickups or snow delays. And what they do is they just say, we'll see you next week, because they don't want to push everybody back another day.
Right.
And we really try hard, and the residents are very, they try hard to help us, which we certainly appreciate. To get it the next day, but that's not always the case. We're not always able to do that.
And I guess you won't be, and this is for them to make them feel better. You're not going to feel, you shouldn't be surprised. You won't be surprised when your trucks show up the next week and there's trash kind of heaped.
No,
right?
No.
You're expecting that at that point, right?
We understand that that's going to add a little different level of service as well.
Now you guys have won quite a few awards with your removal and things with the drivers as well. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, we have fantastic drivers. We really do. And Brenda talked about how they're people too, and they really take a good long look at what they're doing, and they really try to do a good job. And since 2009, the country, they have a National Driver of the Year award in our industry for trash and recycling drivers. They've given out 24 awards, and our company has received 18 of those 24 awards since 2009. So that shows kind of our commitment to excellence with regards to safety.
Well, I've just seen your trucks and look at them, and I have to say, and not to blow wind up your skirt, but I have to say that the one thing I've noticed is they're sure clean. I've sure seen an awful lot of awful dirty trucks in my life for garbage, to pick up, and It doesn't seem like you guys, it seems like you guys have a lot of pride in what you're doing.
I'm glad you noticed that.
Yeah.
They really do try to do a good job, and the drivers are responsible of cleaning their trucks and making sure that they're clean. And it's tough, especially in a snowy area that has, you know, water. My car doesn't look that clean all the time, so we certainly try to do that, yeah.
Yeah, the whole idea of trash you know, pickup and everything is so much different than when we were kids, you know, with the old metal cans. Things have changed a lot. The automation of it, the pride in doing it, the, you know, management of it being different. It's a whole different world, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Automation has certainly improved the process.
Yeah.
You know, with the arm now, everything's automated, but it's also caused a little bit different issue as well. A lot more moving parts.
Things have to be able to work.
Trucks break down a lot more with automation than they do with, you know, we don't have the back pain issue of the guys throwing the garbage in the back of the truck anymore.
Right.
But we do have automation issues.
Well, it seems that you guys have managed that part, but of course with the snow, who knows when we'll ever be able to manage that any better. It's all going to take all of us working together, I suppose.
Well, what we kind of, the bad part about the snow with regards to garbage pickup is a good part about the snow with regards to ski days, so we make it up there, I guess.
Well, I sure appreciate you guys being here and letting us know what's going on with Republic Services. You guys, as far as service area, I should mention, where do you guys cover right now?
The whole county.
So
we have the whole county.
Okay.
I mean, we have the whole state as far as our company goes, but as far as this division out of Park City Services, the county.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, as always, I want to thank you so very much for being here. It was, I think it was important to talk to you about what happened, and I know people had lots of concerns, and hopefully this answers a couple of questions anyway. But I would love to have you back sometime if we can get a little bit of advice from you going forward, too.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate it very much. Thank you guys very much.
Appreciate it.
All right. It's Republic Services. They're the ones collecting your trash. If it's your day, better get that can out there. It's 7:22 right now. So get that taken care of, and be right back here for more of the Mountain Morning Show right after this.